Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Zwift Community Live broadcast of the Zwift Racing League. We're on broadcast number 2 of the day for the Americas. We're going to be in with the women's A's and the men's A's up front, but we'll jump across to the other categories. I already see your chat hanging out with us. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Nathan Guerra, Dave Towle. The ladies have gotten out on course. It's been pretty chill so far. I was going to go and show some replays of anything that has happened, but Dave, I think, what's pretty cool about today is we've had, we say it often, but I'm going to say that today, because of the course opener and the way the riders have come at this, there's a lot of excitement toward the end of January 2024 in this world of Zwift racing.
There really is. It's already been a fantastic day on Watopia, to tell you the truth. I love this course. I realize that I say that all the time, but I really do love this course. It sets up for some great racing, Nathan. It really does. We have seen in general around the first 5K, riders have been working their way into it because there's been an absolute explosion every time on the one featured climb that you see. It's 19K, but don't let that fool you. The intensity and the excitement that we've been getting out of this course, again, ocean lava, cliffside loop, it doesn't on paper look like it would be thrilling, but it is.
Yeah, 100%. That is a really good explanation of what these ladies are taking on right here as they are getting stuck into it. Pretty chill, just as you said, Dave. Everybody kind of getting their bearings, I think. We got some big hitters in this women's A. I'm really loving to see the development of the Americas, North American, mainly a little bit of New Zealand hanging out here with us as well, with our good fashionista, Anna Russell, hanging out with us. Wondering, where's the headband? Oh, there it is. I was going to say she didn't show up with it. Nope, she's definitely got the headband and the Adidas are on the feet there for Russell. Good to see.
When did the Adidas come into play?
Of course. Russell goes for it right away, right on cue.
She's a legend. There's no doubt about it. There is an Australian out here as well, Katie Atkins. Don't worry, I see you. But Anna Russell, our New Zealand superstar, Nathan, is going to open up the account here today. Anybody who watches this broadcast should be familiar with Anna Russell. If you're not, here's your introduction. She's a former triathlete, a mom of 4, and
she's a current triathlete. Nathan. She's doing an Ironman. Yeah, she's got right there for sure. She's training for one. So
see, I was trying to put it in her past for her. She's still a triathlete.
Oh, the bias on this channel. Oh man.
Well,
obviously she's been lifting weights too. Look at her. Yeah. I mean, this is really,
she's jacked. No doubt.
Oh my God.
So,
well, the response from somebody that I saw a pretty cool Instagram post actually from yesterday, Angela Roberts, closing this down. And this is one of the phenoms that's come out of this Americas. Like really, when it comes to discovery of Pacific Northwest talent in cycling, Angela Roberts is 100% one of them because of this women's America scene.
Absolutely, Nathan. I love that she gets a shout out here because I think. Well, there you go. That's our Angela Roberts right there. That's how she's got them looking when she attacks. So that's looking in the mirror. We take a look at the Aeonian team. We watched them today put on a master class. Aeonian has multiple squads racing in just about every time zone, and they definitely put one for the ages up on the board earlier today, although they didn't win that race. And it shows you don't have to win outright to put together command performance, Nathan, as that was Elise Gallegos, another woman who'll be familiar to this group. How about our Canadian friends, Lauren Babineau and company? Will be in the mix out here today. They brought a lot to this time zone of racing, Nathan. There's no doubt that when you look through this list of racers, there's a lot of names. Yvonne Timewell, that's a familiar rider that'll be doing big things out here. Natalie Smith, Eleanor Weissman, Jen Reel taking the start. That's the same team as Anna Russell, the Riot Squad that we're going to be watching for. So as Nathan said at the top of the broadcast, there is a lot of talent in this group. The competitive balance is nearly perfect. These ladies have really cracked the code on how to enjoy esport racing and do it with some style, some panache, and class.
Yeah, Lauren here. Be on the watch out for her. She jumped in with this OTR team, which I absolutely love. She's a big pickup for them. Professional triathlete coming out of Canada. There's just a ton of great talent that has been on this OTR team, and I think this is a big boost there, right alongside of Sarah Bishop, another rider to watch out. Both of them monsters on the bike when it comes to just being able to put on pure wattage. Now another goat it's Russell is just like coffee beans tonight, dude. She has put the espresso on high today.
Another rider I'm watching for today, Nathan, is going to be Lucy Collins of the Wahoo LaColle team. It's going to be exciting what she can do against this group. We're kicking off this season 6 Tuesdays now in a row, including today, will make up this final season of this block of racing. And this is the aforementioned Sarah Bishop. I feel like this is the triathletes esports throwdown. There's a good number of these athletes identify as a triathlete. Here comes Sarah Bishop to join Anna Russell, one of the best climbers, another rider out of Seattle, Pacific Northwest, so strong with esports racing, and Rachel Lieberman of the ATP team. Annie Poland also looks like she's starting to move up, so watch out for those hitters.
Lucy Collins, you were just mentioning, be on the watch out for her. I think we're going to be waiting for a little bit later in the race for Lucy, as I have a feeling that Ryder making moves off the front on purpose. Like in the mountain bike set, I'm getting in the car. Done. Dave, you got to take over the broadcast. The mountain bike is calling. It's been cold a little too long, but we're here with the Zwift racing. I'm liking it, but that is a great shot, actually.
Well, I was trying to convince Nathan before the broadcast to come to Arizona for the Cactus Cup, and I don't know that I failed yet, to tell you the truth. So, all right, here we go, though. Picking up these ladies, Nathan, we talked about how this gravel section is a great place to attack. You get a good delta there where it's hard for everybody. The harder it is, the more of an advantage you have, or more of an ability you have to try to create a gap, but everything going to be welded back together. I was talking about one of the better climbers in this race, and that certainly is Rachel Lieberman.
Yeah, we'll see how she goes today. And it's a little bit punchier of a climb, though. So we'll see how she goes on the punchiness of it, because Lieberman's one who can just set it and go. So we'll see how that happens.
What we've seen with riders somewhat similar to Rachel, or in some of the metrics, talking about M. Nyquist. M. Nyquist really blew up a field on this climb earlier today. She did so much damage, Nathan, that it went from a Mercedes to a hoopty when you talk about the Peloton there throughout the race. I mean, by the time they got to the finish line, everybody was just hanging on. And this is only a 19-kilometer race. So it's amazing how much punch they can pack into this course.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we do have the men about to take off, and we'll get an eye on them in just a moment, everybody. But we will have coverage across all the categories out here today. A lot of chatter actually happening over with the men's race. 61 starters over here, and they are definitely there's people talking about pizza.
Yep.
They want to quit already. They're not showing up the same way as the women, perhaps. I don't know what's going on over here, guys. But we'll see how this plays out with the men. Does look like we got Stuart Way actually out here, Dave. That's a danger man that has a lot of big wins recently on ZCL broadcasts.
He's a closer. No doubt about it. So the guys launching themselves andiamo, gentlemen, out on the course here as 19K, pretty much spot on as they leave the Watopia Pier. Again, perfect day for racing in Watopia yet again for the 1 millionth consecutive day.
How many days? That's a lot of days.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that earlier. Well, Eric Min, congratulations, by the way, Eric, on what you've created here. As Eric has just announced that it was his 10th anniversary, identifying as the CEO of Zwift, or co-founder of Zwift. So hard to believe that this is now 10 years, Nathan. You were probably there about day 2. I think you showed
close.
up.
I think him and Scott probably started talking around this date, 2014, and within a year, I was going over pictures actually yesterday. It's a little bit over 9 then for me. I keep saying 8, but it's actually a little bit over 9. 2015, I actually was showing pictures to Tim Hansen from ZRA, and he was showing me pictures as well of his Zwift setup was way cooler than mine. That's for sure.
Oh, really?
2015. Oh, yeah. Yeah, his
Well,
was in he had made like a cool looking arcade game that he was Zwifting in. like
that's really
like
fascinating. I'd love to see that.
it was like a screen that was put into an old school classic arcade game that was a computer inside of it.
Yeah,
So
right.
it just looked
Like
that
one
way.
of those arcade cabinet. Is that what they called them?
Yeah, something
Right.
like that. Exactly. So,
Back in the day, the asteroids
I'm,
machine, you'd go up and put your quarters, line your quarters up across the top, but you don't have to do that with Zwift. But I felt the same way. The first time I saw Zwift, I knew the impact that this would have would be immense, and that certainly hasn't disappointed. So, all right, Nathan, back to the racing, 8K in, meaning we're only really less than 1K away from the most critical sector that the women have out here today, is that climb here on Cliffside Loop. Damage will be done.
yeah, and somebody's off the front doing a little bit of something, but it looks like about to
Rachel?
be caught. Is it Lieberman
No, I
or
apologize.
Cyclopath? WS. This is a new team to me, honestly, Dave, and this is a newer looking kit as well. JZQC. Oh, it's the JZQC crew. Okay.
Our Quebec-based friends.
Yeah, they are one of these teams that showed up during TTT time when we were going pretty crazy with it, and good to see them making the rosters out here today. Nice, very cool.
This is the race where if enough strong climbers come to the front here, create a gap, it's always possible something crazy happens. They hit a plateau as they go from 9 to 12K. So through the middle part of the course, you've got this climb, then a falls flat, and then the descent where we've seen riders attacking as well. There's a jersey that you'd all be familiar with in game and in real life, modeled by Tam Costain, looking good.
Yeah, that's I mean the fact that she's got that kit says a lot to her cycling history, I would think, Dave, and whether or not she's familiar with the world of cycling or a fan of cycling. Pretty cool to see that she's got
That was
that
a
now.
children's Zed was a children's clothing line, kind of like Garanimals, if you know what that is in America. Maybe not. That's maybe not the best example, but
Oh man,
clothing
yeah, I was gonna
marketed
say
to children, right?
Rothwell, here we
Megan
go.
Rothwell.
She's
Yeah,
saying it's time for the children to go out the back though. As Rothwell, Megan,
Yikes!
no
Look at
more
this.
time for just Legos and blocks. People, we're spinning wheels up to the top, and she's on a Tron bike.
Well, all right, Nathan, the easiest way to figure out who the best climbers are is put them on a very steep pitch and let them have at it. And no surprise that ATP's Rachel Lieberman going to the front, Megan Rothwell on her wheel. Then we've got Martin, Sarah Bishop is there, Natalie Smith, Emily Weissman, Megan Kelly, Anna Russell, Lucy Collins, Jen Reel. All right, so there's Megan Rothwell, another rider with really strong in real life credentials on the bike as well. That global relay Canadian national team jersey certainly backs that up. Really steep right here with Lieberman still setting the pace. Nathan, she's taken. I kind of thought this might happen. The strongest climbers in the group might get some separation. Then you've got the next group there. Chase won, but they very well could have a 12-rider group. A little bit less than that, actually, more like a 10-rider group as they come over the top. If they keep pushing this hard, Nathan, they might get what they want, which is a non-sprinter-based breakaway.
Yeah, Natalie Smith, Riot, trying to hang on, it looks like here. Now coming across, look, Eleanor Weissman. Wow, big push coming from her as Weissman now jumps across to this main pack. Nice
Riot's got
jump
3
here.
in the 6 here. Really good setup for Riot. This is team-based. All the riders scoring points out here are added together. If we stop the race right now, Nathan, Riot wins.
Well, what's happening behind here, Dave, is going to be a question, and whether or not they're closing things down as Collins, Martin here from Aeonian, Kelly is here as well. Aeonian's got numbers, Dave, and that's always a big question mark, isn't it, Dave? Where is Aeonian? Where are they placed? And whether or not they've got the numbers. Because if they do and they make it to the line, they're always a big threat. Roberts is 11 seconds back. That's not where you want to be.
No, and we watched the other Aeonian squad put together a tactical masterpiece where they realized that one rider up the road wasn't worth using their whole team up to chase back. And they rode their way to a win by being very, very consistent in the first group, taking second, third, sixth. And that's really the name of the game here in ZRL. So, boy, you don't see this scenario very often. Megan Kelly tagging on to the back of this group. It's Rathwell, Smith, Collins, and certainly Lieberman who have been setting the standard out here. This group, though, working really, really hard. They've got so much to race for if they could stay together.
Yeah, 3, 4. Is that 4 riots here now at this point? Weissman, I'm seeing.
You're seeing 4 right there.
Yeah. So
right.
Riot, Collins, Weissman, Smith, all made it. Bishop's now on there, it looks like, coming from OTR. Another OT rider is jumping in here as well. Is that going to be... who is this? Oh, it's Z. It's a Z.
So, Nathan, I'm going to really quickly here, doing inventory. Is there any reason why anyone in this front group outside of Riot should be riding right now? Right? I mean, if you want to look at it from the perspective of the other teams, you've got to put pressure on Riot in this situation because they're having their way with this bike race here.
Yeah, it's a good call.
So if you find yourself setting the pace in this front group, you should ask yourself why. That's what I would be saying as a director, right? If you have a reason, then good. But if not, let them do the work. This is their breakaway.
I am actually not familiar with Zena Lufti. I've never, who is Zena? That's what I'm wondering here. And she's jumping in, this Canadian.
This is Z Revolt R. That you're talking about, Nathan.
Zwift
Yeah, right.
Profile, I'll send across. I'll see if I can get it over to you here. But Zena Loudfee came over from the Revo team. I believe it says Revo in the name, but she's got Rev OTR, which I wonder if that's like a joining together of Revo and OTR, or if it's just Rev, like Rev. I'm not. Right. I don't know the history there on that one, but she did make the group here, and that's a pretty big group.
Yeah, and Nathan, at this point, it's rare for us to have a rider who we never heard of in a group like this. So, Zena, now we've heard of you, right? I mean, that's this is how you make your name in esports. But and it's certainly impressive to see someone jump into the deep end of the pool, but an experienced in real life rider can get coached up really quickly to be effective in esports. We'll find out more about Zena, but welcome to ZRL.
Yeah, she makes the top 10 or so riders off the front of this ladies group. Now, in the front group with the ladies, we do got Bishop, we got Lieberman, Weissman, Nat Smith, Lucy Collins. We've got Zena up there too. Martin has made it. I believe there's a couple others. We'll get some names up on the top front of this, but Bishop's driving it now at this point. As you can see, Rathwell, of course, who was the initiator of that. And that's going to be about it. 15 seconds to go as Annie Poland looks to try and make some moves to pull this back. They do bring back a second or two, but Jen Reel is causing some disruption back there to make sure that maybe Riot stays away. So that's the situation. I'm going to jump across to the men's race because there is a breakaway. It did form up and over the top of the climb into the Italian Village, that dirt section that we talk about a lot of times, Dave. This is going to be Daly, followed up by Harris here. 12 seconds, Dave, and there's no real chase happening for the WLC rider getting a whole lot of speed, 52 kilometers per hour. He's a smart rider. He knows where to go. Downhill's the new uphill.
Yep, it sure is. And boy, Nathan, 14 seconds. This is going to be interesting to figure out exactly what's going on as we unravel the front of the bike race here for our men. So, again, it's Harris and Daly, Alpha and Wahoo Lacole represented in this two-rider move, and the gap is continuing to go out. So 15 seconds is what we're looking at right now. They're getting close to the bottom of the climb. That's going to tell us an awful lot. But today, throughout all the racing we've seen, we have not seen any breakaway have this kind of advantage at this point in the race, and this is a unique storyline for racing on this course. So really, really interesting to see Daly and Harris taking advantage of a slightly lackadaisical Peloton right now. It's gone out to 18 seconds since we picked these guys up, Nathan. That's 4 seconds they've added to their advantage here. So they really are full tilt boogie right now.
Yeah, that's interesting, Dave, and there's a good shout out there because the way that this has changed up, it looks like at this point, is the question marks are always in your head as to whether or not something will stay away with the kind of climb that is coming up in front of them, because you know the orange numbers are going to pop so hard that when things head uphill and you're not able to match watt per kilogram to watt per kilogram, they're going to make up a lot more time than the energy you're putting in up front here. So that a lot of times is the reason, but you get enough distance, you get enough time, it's too much to close. They got to put, and that's the work up front, right, Dave? A lot of times in real life racing as well, they'll do this where they'll send a couple of riders up and they try and get enough distance to make sure that the climb isn't enough for them to close. 22 seconds, that might be, depending on how hard these guys can go uphill, it might be just enough, but I'm not sure. I still think that we're going to see our riders come back on this punch of a climb.
Nathan, I'm now great commentary there, because now I'm really curious if we look at Daly and Harris, which we will, how evenly matched are these two? Because I have a really good feeling about what they're doing. You can see that they're swapping poles. They're consistently staying up. I'm going to say that they've been sitting around 5.5 watts per kilo in general. It's enough that the gap has gone out to 26, 27 seconds now. So obviously the bloom is going to be off the rose when they hit the bottom of the climb, but I don't know that the Peloton is going to be even within smelling distance at that point, because this gap is massive, although they're not working together anymore, Nathan. It looks like Harris is soldiering on alone. The pace was brutal. They hit the climb, and it looks like Harris is finding an advantage. Let's see if Daly's going to fight back. This is going to be interesting, because I really think they needed each other if they had any chance of making it to the finish line today.
Daly now punching up to 6 watts per kilogram. Harris now going 2 as well. Behind Dave, there's going to be a lot of power left in the tank here at this point, I think, as Harris now looks to go away, as you can see. So we'll see what Harris can pull off here.
Nathan, they could entirely envision them being caught in the next 2K or still holding on to a massive advantage. It's going to come down to what's in the tank for Harris here. But you're absolutely right. There they are, as Nathan is saying. When these orange numbers start popping here, that means the speed is going to be ridiculoso through this group. They're really motoring now. They're going 5 kilometers per hour faster, maybe, than what our front group was. So we're going to see that gap coming down pretty quickly here.
Yeah, taking a look at it is going to be Bruce Raymer making moves toward the front, but the energy bar coming down so fast through this section. As you can see, OG Alpha now to the front. He's now going to take over, coming out of Canada. As
looks like he was at the Velodrome in Milton, Ontario, to tell you the truth. Is our Canadian man now leading up the chase gap down, Nathan. They've cut it down by 1/3. So let's watch. But I have a feeling that these guys are doing what a Peloton does, ramble along until they get motivated, and all of a sudden they're charging.
Yeah, and I just get the sense, Dave, that these guys are going to have a pretty big kick still over the top.
Boy.
Chris Uberti is on the move now, 6.6 watts per kilogram. They've brought back 15 seconds in a kilometer. They're going to hit this flatter section over here, and I don't think that they're going to necessarily calm down. I have a feeling this is just going to continue on until people just pop off.
I agree, Nathan, and it's starting to look like, well, there's 2 things that tell you how hard they're going. Look at the second group that's formed here. So they've dropped a huge chunk of quality riders. So it just got real, no doubt about it. They've halved that gap that our leaders had. Now as they come over this time, it's still impressive from Harris and Daly out here. Daly looks like he's going to rejoin this group now. I think that there he is. So they're going to reabsorb him, but still, Harris, the instigator here, soldiering on, and Nathan, he's still holding on to 12, 13 seconds, so keeping that storyline going here. Falls flat to kind of ramble along over the top here. The women, though, looks like they're already into the aqua tunnel.
Yeah, they've done their descent. It was pretty calm in the descent, actually. Everybody's really been watching each other, so, kept the powder dry so far. as we saw the men's attacks here, and they're coming into similar section that the ladies had just taken on. I don't think it's going to calm down quite as much because there really hasn't been a group established, though, amongst the men. I have a feeling that there's going to be more attacks and a lot more moves being made. The group is kind of on the men's side. I'll show you really quick here, everybody. It is kind of settling down and watching Harris at this point, which is going to make things really interesting. It looks like next presented by Shorter heading to the front now to press the pace. Bruce Bird's there as well. They're getting a little bit of working together. Now Duval headed to the front, so I think that they're going to have enough firepower and instigation to push this pace as Duval takes over. So on the men's side, they're still motivated, which makes this a good to make a catch perhaps. Will Harris have anything left after being caught? It's a big question.
Unfortunately for Harris, the way things are being scripted now doesn't look great. But that's one of the things about being in a solo breakaway is very few people are going to believe in you until you're at 100 meters to go, right? So keep it going out there. Back over to the women. A former Belgian Worlds team member, Eleanor Weissman, up here. Sarah Bishop in this group. Natalie Smith, as we take a look at our danger women now. And Nathan, we're straight into the final of this race. They're just 1K, little over 1K from the finish. So okay. Well, Riot looks really, really good for the team win today, Nathan. So let's just talk about what woman's going to get her wheel over the line first.
Yeah, that's a good question here. I mean, looking at I think Weissman's got a really good kick, Dave, and she's sitting second wheel. You know, I think Weissman is one to really be watching out for. Smith's got an okay kick, but Weissman's danger if they think, well, Weissman don't care though. She says, okay, I'm going, and just continues to soldier on. Is she setting up Lucy Collins, Dave? Is that what's going on here?
Boy, this is going to be interesting. I think she's setting up her entire team. This is going to be fantastic now as her entire team being Lucy Collins. But, I mean, boy, this is good.
Her entire team is Lucy. Well, Nat Smith and Megan Rathwell just don't have it in the name there, but they're also there as well.
Right.
Dave, do you see that glimmer at the bottom of the screen? Is that from the headlights? That's interesting. They have a headlight. You see that?
You can see it tracks as they make the turn.
There was a glimmer at the bottom of the screen. I was like, why is it glowing?
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, here we go, Nathan. It looks like it's all going to come back together and launching up. So Rachel Lieberman, one of the best climbers in the sport, she doesn't have too many cards to play. She's just going to go to the front, stay there as long as she can. You know, there it goes. Riot goes.
Zena now. This is the new rider we were talking about. OTR now. Revo OTR. 10 watts per kilogram. Big kick. Does anybody got a response now? Rachel Lieberman trying to come across. It looks like she's got a big gap here, Dave. She's taking full advantage of that CDA reduction here.
How about Rachel Lieberman?
Not happening, though. Collins, that's the situation. Didn't get the sprint in fully for the second place. So we'll be able to go back, though, and just take a quick look at it. But, Dave, what a kick here from Zena.
That was actually really surprising in a lot of ways. Riot did, I mean, they had so many women in that group. They really couldn't go wrong, but they didn't romp away with that one. They had a real challenge. Again, this is Zena, the Canadian rider that we are picking up on, who has an explosive sprint, opens up this gap. But Nathan, I can't help but be impressed by Rachel Lieberman and Lucy Collins out here. Collins going to get up there for Riot, but how about Rachel Lieberman finding the top three? That's some range for someone who climbs as well as she does.
Yeah, Collins, it looks like maybe I'm going to try and get, it looks like, Lieberman.
Wow, Lieberman.
Second, Collins, Martin, Rathwell, Smith. I believe that's the order. We'll get right into the men's here. Let's take a quick look at these top 8. That's the situation that we have. Let's not read through them. Let's just get it real quickly. That's the situation, and then we'll jump back over to the men before things really chill out too much. But we'll be back in with these replays and all the results in just a moment. We'll also see if we can pick up some of the ladies' other categories. But the men, they're kicking off, looking to bring back Harris. He's 7 seconds up still.
Doom from the Alpha team right in the middle of the group here, Nathan, as it looks like reduced. We started with 63. This is probably closer to 35, I would guess, in this group now. But there's Chris Huberti communicating that it's all downhill from here, and he's right, as 19K today. They're 14.2K in, so really the finale begins now. We're going to see a flurry of attacks, I would imagine.
Yeah, and you do see, I think, is that going to be Veal going off the front? It's a red kit. Usually is if he's pushing the watts. Somebody to always be watching out for. No,
Ed Veal?
Bruce Bird, excuse me. Also another big name when it comes to the breakaway situations, putting in a little dig to bring Harris back. It looks like it's going to happen 5 seconds up the road, but they still can't sleep on it.
These are the big tractors when you talk about Bruce Bird or Ed Veal, very similar in style and approach, the two monster Canadians. And this is Bird, who's had a lot of success through the years, but it looks like that works against you as well. Double-edged sword, as he's recognized as a danger man. They cover and kill this move, reset. So Grupo Compado now as this is really 5 minutes until this one is put paid. Very, very interesting at the front as the team in red looks like they're going to attack with multiple riders here, Nathan.
Yeah, and how are things playing out here for Harris? It looks like 7 seconds. He has gained a little bit, so Bird continues. He's really been a sacrificial lamb, it looks like a little bit here, Dave. I mean, he's been really putting in the work here for the rest of his team now. And I think he wants to set up somebody for draft. But as Harris continues on to just put the pressure on, going to be tough on these teams. But are they just letting them dangle because they don't want to sprint with them? That might be what it is a little bit here. Now the roll through.
Ooh.
Next, look at here. Do you see it?
There's
there it is.
Attack.
There it is.
Yeah.
That roll through right from the back of the pack. That's the next rider. Who is it?
Well, let's find out.
Duval.
Okay. So Marcus Duval is the rider off of the front right now. You can see, hey, really, he set this attack up. This didn't just happen by happenstance. This was planned. So the Welsh rider now going all in, 2.8K to go. He opens up a nifty little 4-second gap there, Nathan.
Yeah, 4-second gap. But if he gets on, actually, this is really smart. He didn't want to bring anybody with him. So
to Harris.
Yep,
right.
But get to Harris's wheel, sit on for a moment, work with him, and go and then go from there. Good.
I don't know that
here.
Harris. I'm not. Well, actually, I might be wrong, Nathan. I was going to say when you get to Harris, he might be completely empty after this incredible effort that he has made, the Alpha rider. But I feel like I could be wrong here. He seems to still have some juice in the tank. If Duval can use this as a stepping stone, or Harris can get some help, either way, any port in a storm right now, as we're coming up on 2K to go pretty quickly. This is really going to be dangerous. Now, Harris and Duval should be coming together and linking up. Can Harris continue to roll this incredible performance to the line?
Yeah, and it looks like Duval and Harris got 6 seconds, but that's going to maybe be shut down real quickly the moment that they hit this little 3%. You know, Dave, if it was all flat to the line here, they'd actually have a benefit. But because of that little punch, there's an opportunity for the pack to fight it out a little bit, and that makes it so that they can bring those orange numbers, attack each other, and not be as worried about dragging others along with them. So this little 3% bump, not good for these guys, but great for the pack.
I agree. That little bump oddly puts a wind in the sails for the Peloton, as that actually will initiate the finale for them as well. I don't think that they're going to be all that worried about this right now. One thing's for sure, the next team is happy, Nathan, as they've got a dangerous rider up the road taking pressure off their guys back in the Peloton, so they should be able to sit on the chase. So advantage next.
Yeah, and good call on that, Dave. I think next they're definitely going to be happy with this. They're just going to sit in, not make any kind of chase or anything, make sure that their riders position as best as they possibly can. There's the punch from behind here. Hennessy now trying to come across from Draft, it looks like, or at least drag everybody up alongside with him. Draft there, yeah, still on the front. They've got 5 seconds, Dave. It's going to come down pretty quick here. This is touch and go if the pack wants to continue on. Sometimes, I come over the top of that and I go, I don't want to do the work any longer, but Draft is willing. Draft is fully willing as he continues to push 202 beats per minute here, Dave.
Boy, are they setting up Ed Veal here, Nathan? They've got Jeremy Hennessy as well, talking about the team in red, that being Draft. They're certainly the team taking the responsibility. Next has got to be licking their lips right behind, just off screen now. The catch is imminent, so our two heroes are going to come back, but I think that this play was enough that if we do see a bunch of next jerseys, though, but we're not, Nathan, they're not really positioned up near the front of the scoop. There they are. They're coming now.
Bruce Bird on the move. Here goes Bird. And this guy, this is his signature.
Huge. huge.
It really is a signature from him. I've seen him do it time and again, but the response is there. Raymer knows, HGFU, he knows, wow, this is early. This is so early. What is he doing? Is it going to work? I mean, he's got 68 kilometers per hour, Dave.
So really solid Zwift craft from Raymer, the Canadian, canucking up. And Nathan, I think he's done it. He's still putting massive. Look at this. He was up at 14 watts per kilo there. He's got another surge, dimming the power grid here in Watopia. Can Raymer hold on? They are coming. Ed Veal is there. West is there.
He did it. I can't believe he did it. I've never seen that before, Dave. I might have seen it once or twice, but not on a crew like this. That was insane.
Well, I think Draft, Nathan, I think put 2 in the top 4. And if that's true, that's great for them. That's great for anybody. But if Draft has 2 in the top 4,
we're all winning. We're all winning.
We're winning. Everybody gets a trophy. But in all honesty, Nathan, I think Draft might be the top team out of that. But that's a thumbnail sketch. This is going to be the top 10. I have a feeling Nathan's
we're going to jump to this
move
really quickly. Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to show it right after it happened there for everybody quick. But we do have replays of the women's B's and C's in just a moment. But the D's are finishing up right now. So we'll head into that quickly for the women, and we'll highlight the rest of the women, and then we'll jump back over to the men and hopefully catch the back end of the men's B category, just so everybody knows where this is heading. D category,
no
though,
drama llamas.
Yeah, and Dave, this has seemed really competitive. When I was checking out what was going on here, heading on over, there was a lot of separation between multiple packs that were all within a couple of seconds of each other, though. As McMillan has given it a go, the Blazing Bobcats were here as well, then a little ways behind another pack, as you can see. So this has been quite the battle. These ladies in the D category, they're no joke. They like their racing, that's for sure.
Oh, they're the best. They really are. The competitiveness and the support that they give each other is incredible. It really is what makes our community so strong. As McMillan taking the win, this is going to be the sprint for second. Here comes some dynos.
Yeah, and this is going to be Jay Nice, not trying to be too nice, it looks like, as the Watt's now kicked down, but it's Aeonian would be here now coming across the line. There's the situation. That's your top 4. With Bar from Herd there coming across the line, it looks like. So that was the situation between those ladies. A little ways back, it looks like, let's see if I can grab our, I believe it was C category here in just a second, and NB category for the women and how that played out. This is the Bruce Bird situation a little bit earlier. Not exactly what we're looking for. He was probably what was happening as the B category was sprinting. That's why we had that. So B category sprint here for the ladies. D Woods Turner got us into the race here, right to the line. It was Stephanie Clark actually, and Jones with the Honeybees taking it right there. ATP battling each other to the line. I don't know if Synergy got, or if, is that a Synergy rider? Yeah, trying to nip him at the line there, Dave. I'm not sure. We'll take a look at the results here real quick. But that was the situation for the B category for the women as they came across. And the results are showing for us that it was going to be, is that Devota, Whitaker, Alicia from the Dinos, Randy from Gino there as well. So is that actually the exact same? We're looking at start time, 6:20. Yeah, that's what we were looking at here. Stephanie Clark, little ways back, it looks like. Whitney there, Senor, Heather Lincoln, Randy Gino. That's the situation for that B category. C category we had as well. Quick little replay of that. And as it was going to be, here's the situation with Stephanie Clark and the rest. As Kier, is there 2 Stephanie Clarks? Is that right? One ATP and one coalition?
That's entirely possible, isn't it? In this world,
yeah,
that there'd be 2 Stephanie Clarks would not surprise me.
Yeah,
Stephanie Clark finished 7th in one of the Stephanie Clarks finished 7th in the previous race.
Yeah, and that might have been this one right
here.
That
was
For
this
some
one.
Reason it looked
that
like,
was it.
Yeah. Good call there, Dave. Good call. Maybe we were showing the incorrect. For some reason it was showing though for us there just a moment ago. There it is though. Susan Clark. That's what that was. So it's just the S's.
And so both the Clarks found the top 10 today, but I think that Stephanie Clark doesn't have the E at the end of her Clark. I believe.
Thank you very much, Dave.
Well,
That's a good
we live and we
direction.
learn every Tuesday, Nathan. If we don't learn something on Tuesdays, we didn't do it right. That's for sure.
Yeah, that is definitely for sure.
Hey, do you want me to run through the top
Yeah,
10s?
run through these. Then we'll take a look at the D category. And
Great. So,
yeah.
thanks, Nathan. This is our C's and Sonia Jobadon, the Synergy rider, comes across the line first for the win. Cells of Zedson in second. Saskia Hop in third. Emma Kier, the ATP Swarm rider, in fourth. Katie Candeloro, good job, Katie, finding fifth today. KJ Phillips, nice job, Kate, in sixth. It's Jill Sargensen from Synergy in seventh. Susan Clark for eighth. She's with Coalition. W Sisters rider Jessica Vachon in ninth. And then Ashley Forsyth found the coveted top 10 here in our WTRL ZRL's OLCL, the Ocean Lava Cliffside Loop. First time we've ever raced here, and you found the top 10, ladies.
That's there we go. B update. D update. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
This is our D's, as in dog, with Kathy McMillan taking the win. Bethany for second. Jay Nice in third. Amy Barr for fourth. Jen A in fifth. Kooks in sixth. Jacobs and Annette Jacobs in seventh. Tinkermud in eighth. Heather for ninth. And then Becky Van Ziel. She's at Dinos, so she finds the top 10 today in our D women. We were able to watch that finish live.
Yeah, nicely done for them. We just, oh man, just caught the back end of the C men as we were looking to jump in across to them. But I'm not sure we're going to be able to get you the exact images of those, everybody. Oh man, it was so close. We'll get the results for you though, for those in just a moment. The B men just coming across the line as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at those B category for the Open Eastern. And then we'll see if we can head across and maybe catch the back end of the C's and D's here. But Ned Bowen doing what Ned usually does. He actually had less watts per kilogram in the last 15 seconds. It looks like it's a big 12.8 from Steve Connor though. But Ned, he's a crafty rider. We see him in Z racing often.
Yeah, really got his Swiftcraft dialed. Draft had a great day out here. So Ned taking the win. Steve Connor from Team CLS in for silver spot. That's second. Faku Akena for third today. Craig Brackens of ATP in fourth. Brad Patnaud in fifth. Clancy for sixth. Ryan Fage in seventh. Benjamin Bay in eighth. Dan Manolo, good job, Dan, in ninth. And Jeff Moose in 10th. So that's our very competitive B field out here. After 19 kilometers of racing, that was our top 10 for that B group.
Let's see if we can jump across over to our buddy Ty Diddy Times to help us out. I love this guy's name. And he runs for that Zedson team. And it does look like we do have some images coming in from our buddies over in that D category. Is he actually leading? Is that right? Yeah, first place, Ty Diddy, currently leading this race.
We watched him win yesterday.
Did we?
Z racing event. Yeah, he won out of a 5-rider group, if I remember correctly.
Huh. Nicely done here from Ty Diddy. Nice little punch. And where is everybody else? where?
Oh, Nathan, I'm thinking of Thomas. Actually,
yeah. I was thinking. I was like, I wasn't. Yeah,
right,
but,
that's what it was.
We've seen him win
Similar
before,
kit.
though. Ty Diddy. We've seen him win plenty of times. He's got a solid.
They're
gap
not even
over
in
the rest
the
of
shot. Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
I'm
see
looking
any
at the
competitors.
live here, and Mark Ridings, Ryan Carlson, they're about 45 seconds back actually. So he must have made a pretty good kick up and over the top of that climb to get away. So nice job by Diddy here. The next riders are going to be a couple of others too riding together here with Ridings. That's Mark Ridings and Kevin Bangston coming from ATP. Yeah.
So that's second and third on course. We should see a sprint from these two here then. Any second now. It looks like the ATP racer is going to get out in front of it. Here comes the charge, though. That's going to be contested.
Yeah. Undiscovered. Making a move.
Got the photo finish out.
He's discovering, it looks like at this point, as well. Dave, they're challenged. I like this. Right to the line. Battle. It looks like Undiscovered Ridings is going to get the better here M. O'Brien, the Rocket Rhino, giving us a kick for the broadcast. Loving it. Good job, O'Brien. As he's going to come across for 4th. And it's going to be Perks here. Hoff for 5th. Oh, Jeremy old ATP almost taking it down right at the line there. Carlson, the next one. Looks like a good little pack coming on through at the end. That's our D category. Love their heart, that's for sure, in the midst of all this one.
Well, those sprints really matter too. Those points there for 4th could be the difference on taking the win today for your team.
Isn't it like every single one really matters, doesn't it, Dave?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the sprints you see for 20th place can be difference makers. So these riders have every reason to go for it. I don't know how Ragbri is coming up.
Really good. What's that, Ragbri? What's going on? Huh?
Yeah, they were talking about it in their group chat there. Maybe they're inviting other friends. It's how our community works,
Iowa or no? What are we talking about?
Iowa.
Yeah.
The Register's annual Great Ride Across Iowa.
Yeah, that's like 300 and what miles? I mean, it's a lot.
What's more incredible is it's like 15,000 people eating pie and hot dogs every day. It's like a picnic on wheels. They're not very competitive. I could add in that they drink a little beer.
Yeah, it's a party, I hear. It's a good one, though, and it sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we need to do some Ragbri. Maybe a couple of years. We'll race our bikes for a little while.
I'll be your designated driver. Yeah. No, I completely. If you're not, almost all of these riders are North American, South. I see a Cuban or Colombian flag, but it's in Iowa every August, and it's iconic in the American. It's bigger than cycling. It's an American event for sure. So let's run through our top 10 now as Ty Diddy Sr., Zed's son rider, taking the win with no doubt about it. 36 seconds ahead of the next best, which was Mark Ridings, coming through, taking that sprint over the contested sprint with Kevin Bankston there. Good job, guys. Mark O'Brien, Rocket Runner rider, in at 4th. Jeremy for 5th. Mark Perks for 6th. J.F. Pino in 7th. Brian Carlson for 8th, and then Pierre Watts up. I like that, in 9th. So that's a good look at our top 9 as they've come in already here for our D men. This was a great way to start the season. Really glad to get Tuesday
Feels like
done.
It was quick and over compared to Europe. Europe was like this marathon, but it was like kind of almost perfectly timed. Boom, 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 back to back to back. And I was like, all right, what's next? And I was like, oh, America's done.
There was always something. It was incredible. Coming. It was a producer's dream, I would think, on your end, Nathan, it was just like you wrap up one race and the next thing you know, you're ready to send another one out on course. So if every day could be like that, every day is like that. We always have a blast.
It was a good one. It was definitely a good one. I really appreciate everybody showing up out here today. We'll be back at you, not tomorrow. We got no broadcast tomorrow. We will be back for the wrap Thursday night. Our final Echelon Racing League is Saturday. Next week, Monday, Z Racing. Still be on the watch out. We're still figuring out the gamified racing next Wednesday, it looks like, on our personal streams. We may do a ZCL broadcast with it still, but just be on the watch out for that. I know I did talk about that over the weekend. If someone are still looking for where's the information? Watch out for a Zwift Insider post, because they are going to be putting one out on gamification racing. We'll have some fun with that as a community. Dave, good start here, though.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, Nathan, we have a really strong community in Seattle, Pacific Northwest. I'm going to be heading there tomorrow and looking forward to seeing a lot of folks. I think Montalie Keller might be able to come by. We're going to go in and see Todd Harriet and all his friends at Metier and enjoy. We're going to broadcast our final Echelon race with you from there, and they're going to have a cappuccino ride that's going to go off in the morning, and then we're going to have a cool discussion about esports. They're building a thing, Nathan, that you would love. This is really, you built the platform to allow stuff like this to happen. It's called Drop Bar, and it's going to be built into Metier, which is a world-class training facility, coffee bar, bike shop, all of those things. And they're adding a dedicated Zwifting room where they're going to be, it's not just racing, but they'll have people Zwifting there. Seattle has
a commentary box, maybe, and a place to run podcasts. We actually have exactly the same idea here locally for the last 5 years. Been looking around to see when and exactly would make sense. We'd like to mix in not only Zwifting though, it's like, and that's I think they should, that's what they do. I've been to Metier. It's great. Or, it's really cool. Like
Yeah.
they've got an amazing scene there. Just because I also like all esports, I'd like to bring in the youngsters and bring in, you know what I do, mix it together a little bit with esports
Heck
tournaments, have a broadcast space, little arena, so you're able to kind of swap it out the same way that you kind of do with like a basketball, you know what I mean? And then they can swap it to another sport, you know what I mean, in that space. So I'm excited that they're doing that, because I think they're onto something in the longer term of this entire space. And I hope we have a great time. But to go see that, Dave was mentioning that as we get off on a bunny trail, as we love to do. Dave's going to be there on Saturday. So if you're in Pacific Northwest, you want to show up at Metier, you can see Dave and do an espresso ride. I think it's probably taken up for the esports athletes, though. I would think like signups are probably, I don't know. I mean, find out.
Well, yeah, you know what? It's a big space. And Nathan, I do like what you were saying about that. I know we're going down a rabbit hole, but the thing is, America's changing right now. There's going to be a lot of spaces that used to be used for offices or retail that is no longer needed. And those spaces would be ideal to put in an esports center. And like Nathan said, you got to remember the kids. I think that might be the most important thing of all, is to remember that these kids have been through COVID, and we need to get them exercising and part of a community. And that's what Zwift is all about. Zwift is not meant to entirely replace riding outside. It's meant to complement it. And it really works perfectly that way. So nice, Nathan. Really feel great energy coming out of today. And I'll check in. I know we're going to tech in on Friday night. So I was just going to ask you about all those things off air. So the work never stops for you, sir.
Nope, it doesn't. It's time. I got to race my bike in an hour. So I've got to go. I'm gonna go drink a bunch. I'm gonna go drink a bunch of baking soda, because I'm not as fit as I need to be. So the baking soda needs to make up for it. All right, everybody. Thanks a lot for tuning in. You know the drill. We've been live on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Hit those follow buttons, subscribe, hit your notification bells. All of the ZRL are currently listed on our YouTube channel. So you turn those bells on, you know, anytime that we do go live. It's been great to see all of you at the startup of this ZRL, and we will see you on Thursday for the wrap and Saturday for the last ERL. As always, from Dave and I, ride on.